Hi, this is Pastor Mendenhall, and today we are talking about a very serious subject that has afflicted many people in our society. This issue has affected people in all areas of society, from the rich and the poor, the famous to the unknown. This issue has cost the lives of many people. Today we're talking about suicide. I realize that there are chemical imbalances that do create issues within the brain that change the way people view life, and we are not discussing that today. There are needs for medications in those areas and needs for medications for people that are suffering from those type of issues. But today we're talking about the spiritual issue that goes behind suicide, the loss of hope, the absolute darkness that a person can get into to where they don't feel like that tomorrow is going to be any better and that the only answer to their life is to take their life. Today, we have somebody that is willing to tell their story, how they stood at the very steps of suicide itself and were able to come back from that. Scott Stanford is with us. Thanks for coming, Scott, and sharing your testimony with us today.
Mhm.
Why don't you begin, Scott, by telling us a little bit about yourself and who you were and your life and what brought you into a place where you um, felt that loss of hope.
I grew up pretty normal. Um, I had a good childhood, really. Um, Grew up in the local area. Around 14 years old, I discovered alcohol, and I had some previous trauma that happened to me as a child, some abuses that happened, and so I found alcohol to help cope with that trauma, to help try to fill a void. And so at 14, I started drinking and started chewing at the age of 14 as well. So that's what
So they contributed to some of the darkness that was in your life. How did you feel emotionally and psychologically?
helpless. I felt alone, really, like nobody understood. I couldn't talk to anybody about it. Um, for I guess fear of getting in trouble, fear of being looked at differently, fear of being judged.
So I would kind of say that that's pretty normal for most every teenager. They've probably had some kind of a issue in their life that has caused some trauma, and uh, I would imagine there are many teenagers today that have begun with alcohol, but yours started to take a very dark turn, a very dark mode in your life. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that was like, what fed that, how were you in that?
Uh, Anger helped fuel it. I think anger at uh, people, anger at myself, just self disgust. Really, I was unhappy, miserable. I guess is a strong word, but that's how I felt. I just continued to drink more and more and more, to the point of excess. At the age of 15, I was admitted to API because of suicidal thoughts and tendencies and actions, which is Alaska Psychiatric Institute. Um, I was just hopeless. I just had a dark cloud over me. That's the best way I can describe it. Um,
So you had a lot of depression, a lot of anger, and those things. What made you feel like that you needed to take your life?
I don't know, really. I was just unhappy. I didn't look forward to waking up every day. I didn't look forward to going throughout the daily grind every day because there was just no light, there was no hope, there was no joy, happiness or anything. Uh I didn't find happiness in anything.
Right. So you did come out of that for a period of time,
Yeah.
but the was the dark cloud still kind of hanging around?
Yeah, I mean, like anybody that has depression, really, I had good days and bad days. I had highs and lows, but my lows were way more than my highs.
So you get through high school and now you're a young adult. Um, things getting better, things getting worse. What's going on?
Uh, they're they're maintaining really. I'm still doing the up and down, but my downs are getting more. I quit drinking at that point, um, but I still had bad times.
So alcohol fueled it, but it wasn't the cause of the depression and
No,
the suicidal thoughts. It wasn't a chemical dependency that caused that.
no,
So um, now you have been on our Hope series with your wife Amanda, and
yeah,
you discussed about your marriage. So by this time in your life, you're married at a young age.
yeah.
So talk to me about your how your marriage and what's going on there is feeding into um, the dark cloud.
We were very unhappy with each other in our first years of marriage, which fueled the unhappiness. Really, I was unhappy again with myself, with how I treated my wife. I didn't like how I treated my wife, um, because of all the anger that I had. I let it out on her family, on anybody really that was anywhere near. I pushed a lot of people away, family, friends. I tried to isolate myself as much as possible
Why do you think you did that?
because I didn't want to be saved. I didn't want anybody to fix me. Uh, I did I don't know, I was just unhappy, so I was content with being unhappy, and I didn't want anybody to try to tell me that there was a different way that you could be happy if you just tried to be happy.
So how did you get to the point where you felt like taking your life was the only answer, the only way out?
You know, I it's a hard question to answer really. Just years and years and years of hopelessness. Um, a couple attempts here and there. I attempted it at 17 to take my life. I swallowed a bunch of pills and um, a couple trips down a gravel road with just a pistol, and I just felt hopeless. I just felt lost. I just felt empty.
Talk to us a little bit about what that darkness is like when somebody gets to the point where they feel like I'm better off dead than I am alive. How is life so miserable that it's not worth living?
I I really I don't know. I can't explain it. You know, for somebody that has not had depression, it's hard to explain. People that have had depression can kind of understand, I guess. It's just a cloud. It's just an enveloping darkness. You have no hope. You have no tomorrow. Tomorrow is just maybe if I make it there. I I I can't explain it.
So, and I've spoken with another member of our church who, like you, sat at death's doorstep, gun in his hand, ready to ready to take his life. And over the course of many occasions like that, he mentioned that there was just this voice that just said, "You need just to do this."
Yeah,
Did you find that in you?
absolutely. Almost daily, you're not worth it. Just quit. Just give up. Just end it. Nobody wants you around. Nobody loves you. Nobody cares. Nobody would miss you if you're gone. Yeah, constantly.
So, what brought hope? What made Scott realize that somebody did care?
My wife, she always told me that she cared. She always told me that she loved me, and then she came to the church, and I started coming to the church, and I still dealt with depression, but for the first time in my life, in continuing to come to church and be immersed in the power and the presence of God, I felt love for really the first time. I,
So, love from the congregation, love from the pastor. What is this love that you feel?
love from Jesus. It's a pure love. It's a you don't have to earn it love. It's just, again, I don't know how to put it into words. When you go through life with a cloud over you, and all of a sudden the cloud is gone and the darkness is gone, and you don't feel that you're not worth it voice anymore. You don't feel that you're, just give up, just end it voice anymore. You don't feel that constant pressure. 'Cause that's what it is. It's just a constant pressure of negativity, of
Depression.
depression. Yeah, it's just constant. And when that lifts, when you don't feel it anymore, and you feel God love you for who you are.
So depression just lifted?
Yeah. Crazy enough as it was, my wife and I had a fight one night, and again, I was still dealing with depression. I was coming to church on a semi-regular basis, and we had a fight, and I again, that voice came and said, just end it. Just put yourself out of your misery. Your wife will be happier, your daughter will be happier, just go. And so I was leaving. I was on my way out the door. My wife grabbed me, and she began to pray over me, and she began to bind that spirit of depression, and it lifted that night. It, it was incredible. I felt literally a weight lift off my shoulders.
So tell me about what it was like coming out of that darkness and the hope that you found in Jesus.
Oh, it it was amazing. I could smile without having to fake it. I could I could be happy for the first time without having to try. I could, as stupid as it sounds, look at the sky and find happiness in just looking at the beauty of the trees and the mountains and the stars and whatever. I mean, my vision changed basically. Everything about my life changed.
So the place where you felt like your life was not worth living and that you're better off dead, now you found purpose for your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it all happened at an altar, really.
And what's so amazing, and for you that are watching this, is I don't think people would understand exactly how powerful the transformation in your life has been. Um, I've watched you grow over the last several years and saw a young man who was full of bitterness and anger and full of hate for himself and everything else around him. I watched God completely heal you and take that completely out of you. It wasn't a program that you went through. It wasn't anything like that. It,
No.
it just happened.
Yep.
And then the most powerful thing is God called you to be a minister of this gospel and licensed you. What an amazing transformation that God has done in your life.
Absolutely. And it's not me. It's all God. God gets all the credit. I would have never dreamed, looking back 10, 15 years ago, that I would ever be a licensed minister.
So what's life like now?
It's incredible. I got a great marriage. I have a great family. I have a great relationship with a lot of different people now that I pushed away in the past. I'm happy. I have joy.
And the voices?
Gone, gone. They'll try to come back, but I don't listen to them.
So thankful for the power of God to deliver us and to redeem us from all types of issues that we face in our lives. This is something that was very real to you,
Yeah,
and something that was that had a strong power over your life. And God took a situation that was hopeless for you and brought hope to you.
yeah.
So you that are watching today, if you find yourself in this same situation, we want to let you know that there's hope. Scott, if you had somebody sitting across the table from you today and they were in the same situation that you were in, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Give Jesus a chance to heal you, because he can do it and he will do it. You're not meant to live with depression. I thought that it was just something that you just had to deal with, and then it's not. Nobody You weren't created. We weren't created to live with depression. And so I would say give Jesus a chance. Give Jesus a shot.
Amen. Well, we hope that you have been blessed by this. And please, If you've ever fought depression, if you've ever had suicidal thoughts, if you've ever gone to that darkness that is in your life where you felt like you had no hope and no way out of your situation, we're here to tell you today that there is hope for you. Jesus is the answer to your situation, and He can bring light into the midst of your darkness. That is what God can do for you. We hope that you will reach out to us and help us, or let us help you in any situation that you're in today. Please contact us, and we hope that you've enjoyed this series. God bless you.